One is loved very much, and the other is not. With these two, the one rock that is loved very much gets all the support and care, and the other that is not so loved doesn't get that much love or care. Nobody really cares. But the two sit together on the shelf. It's just an ordinary shelf that they both are resting upon. And at this time, someone comes in to admire the two rocks. And of course, they always go to the one that everyone loves because it's beautiful, it's shiny. And then there's the one that sits beside it. They look at it and they're like, oh, it is so disgusting. It just sits there. It's not so shiny, it's not so brilliant, not so bright. It's just a rock. So, this carries on for a while. And then one day, the owner of the rocks decided they wanted to put them together in a new display. All of a sudden, when people would come in and they would see the two rocks together, the people weren't so happy about that. They actually got angry about that. They're like, how dare you put that beautiful, brilliant rock in a place with that ugly, disgusting rock? It just makes it look so horrible. Fact is, it didn't make it look horrible. There was no difference with it. But the owner of the two rocks would just look at the people like, are you sure? You know? And the people would say, yes. Why do you have it there? It shouldn't be there. It should be on a display by itself. You know? Away from the ugly rock. And the owner goes, okay. So the owner took the one beautiful rock and placed it back up on the shelf and left the not so desirable rock down in the display. People will come in, see the big beautiful rock up on its shelf once more again, and they would sit there and they would be marveled by this beautiful rock, not paying attention to the other rock that was in the display, because they were more concerned about the big beautiful rock. One day, the owner took the other less desirable rock, and here's like, what am I gonna do with you? You know? I like you. You know? So I'm gonna just keep you up on my desk in your display. Since everybody's so concerned about the big beautiful rock, I'm gonna just keep you to myself because I like you. But then one day, the people stopped admiring the big beautiful rock and turned to the owner, and they noticed that the owner had the not so desirable rock in its display sitting up on their desk. And they're like, oh my goodness, why is that there? Oh, it offends me, so you should move it. You should kick it out. Destroy it. It's so ugly. It's so horrible. Ugh. The owner looked at people puzzled. And they're like, what does it have to do with you about this rock being on my desk? It's my rock. Y'all didn't like it. There's the big, beautiful one. Go back and pay attention to that one. But the people kept getting so offended that this rock was on the owner's desk. They made big stink about it. They started to do things like not go into the store because that rock was there. They would do horrible things like break the owner's windows of their store because that ugly rock was sitting on the owner's desk. Out of sight, out of mind, away from everybody else. Locked up in his office, as a matter of fact. And the only time you got to go in there is if you really wanted to speak to the owner about something. They stopped paying attention to the big, beautiful rock because they were so focused on the fact that the ugly rock was on the shelf in the owner's office. They started to hate the owner because they had the ugly rock, or what they call ugly rock, on their desk. To the point to one day, someone broke in and stole the ugly rock. And they took it and they smashed it to pieces. And it became nothing but dust. The owner was devastated that they took their possession and destroyed it because they didn't like it. And the big, beautiful rock sat there. Still beautiful, still shiny, still perfect. The owner shut down the entire store. Because how could someone take something that had no business with anyone else? It didn't do anything. It didn't cause a problem. It just was there for the owner, and anyone else that actually thought the rock was beautiful could see it. So the owner took away anybody's chance to come see the big, beautiful rock anymore, because they took away the little ugly rock from the owner. I know this is a stupid story about two rocks, but it's really not. And honestly, it's about the fact that people protest and hate and do things against someone or something because that thing offends them without realizing what it actually means to the person that is doing it, that owns it, or that created it, or that person themselves. In life, we take each other for granted. We beat down each other because we don't like something about them or how things are done. We protest against things without fully understanding the meaning behind our protest. If you don't like something that somebody else is doing, you don't like how they're dressed or their wear or how they talk or whatever, that is your business to not like it. But it is someone else's business if they do like it. If they do like the way that they dress, look, act, think, the things they create. It's there for display, for them, not for you. If you don't like it, hate it in silence. Don't destroy something else because you don't understand it. I'm not talking about bad things, crimes against humanity kind of things. Yes, you don't know what that owner was doing in their life. You don't know who they were. I chose not to give anything a name or a place or anything because that doesn't matter. What matters is what you do and how you act towards those things. Love is free. Love is something, it's a gift. It's a gift given. Not everybody's going to like your gift. Not everybody's going to like you. But once something is created and put out in this world, some like it, some don't. I love coffee. I know there are people that don't love coffee. I'm not going over and knocking over tea stands and raising protests against people because I don't like tea that much. I love coffee. I'm not putting up billboards and telling stores not to sell these things because I don't really particularly like them. And I don't see people doing that to me about my love of coffee. They just express the fact, I don't love coffee. I rather drink tea. But don't you think it would be weird if we did start acting like that? If I started walking around, beating up people, telling the stores, don't sell tea because I hate tea. Don't you think it would be weird if I started causing harm or doing things against non-coffee lovers? That would be kind of stupid. And I would be hurting the very thing that I do love because I would be paying more attention to that. And I would also start hurting the people who actually do love tea because eventually people will get tired of it and stop drinking it, right? Yeah, that wouldn't happen. People will still drink tea. People will still drink coffee. Might have to go different means to get it away from the crazy woman who is protesting about tea and coffee. That would be kind of odd, but they'll still drink it. So, when an artist creates something, that is their work. That is their hard work, their blood, sweat, and tears that they put into that piece. Like it or don't like it. It doesn't give you the right to destroy it. It doesn't give you the right to boycott it because they displayed it in a big museum or bathroom. Or they decided just to stick it on a tree or a refrigerator. Just imagine if you went around boycotting all the places that this artist chose to put their art. That would be kind of foolish. And also, some of those things you need. So that would kind of hinder you as well. Artists, people, places, things. There's a time to fight. There's a time to stand up. And there's a time to not agree. And there's a time to agree not to agree. But it's not going to do anything if you hate something and you speak on that and you treat it and you do horrible things to it. Because that thing didn't do anything but be. And you doing that stuff to it isn't going to change it. It's not going to stop it. But if you silently, very quietly, take the thing that you love and care for and educate people about it, show them the things about it that makes it special to you, you might actually find that you might actually get somebody to like the thing. Because, like I said, with the ugly rock, there were those that also loved that rock, too. Because they got curious and quietly asked the owner about it. And what the people that destroyed it and thought it was so ugly and disgusting, what they didn't realize behind the story of that rock was that that was just the rock that their child that passed on gave them one day on a nature walk that they took on the day that that child died. And that was the last thing that they had of that child. And that last moment before that their child went home to see the Lord. But those hurtful, angry people that hated that ugly rock, what they didn't realize is that story. But what the people that were quiet, humble, and actually asked questions and allowed to be and sat with the owner about it, found out the story of why that person loved that rock, that ugly, nasty, disgusting rock, as they said. They found out the story behind it, and they absolutely fell in love with that rock as well. You never know the story behind it. You never know the hurt, the pain, the tears, the laughter, the joy that goes behind something that you decide to destroy, or what that thing can bring to the table if you actually allow it to do its work, or allow it to be shown or seen or displayed. You never know the story that you'll get behind it and the lives that can actually change and come to see it. So I'm asking you people, stop hating on things just because you don't understand it. Stop getting angry because things are placed in places that are morally not right, morally not wrong, that you don't understand what impact that thing could actually make in where it is. Like going into different places and finding things that shouldn't be there, speaking the word of God, somebody is going to pick it up one day. Somebody's going to pick it up and they're going to read it. And they're going to find out that it's a wonderful place to be in the arms of the Lord. There's going to be somebody that is full set, lives in a place where there's hate and death and murder and genocide, neck cleansing with it. They're going to pick up or walk into a movie theater and see a movie about a man that they didn't know and they actually hate it. But then they see what this man has gone through. They see his struggles and his hardships and his pains and go, he's just like me. Maybe on a different scale, but he's just like me. And they're going to change everything about how they thought about that young man. And you never know what that person will actually grow up to be and the changes that they can make in favor that young man. And then bring others into favoring that young man, or anyone for that matter. And we should all remember this one very important thing. There was a guy a long time ago who got rejected by an art school and went on to be one of the most hated men on the face of this planet that did horrible, horrible things to people because he got rejected from art school. You never know what you are putting out there. You never know what the winds of time will bring and how you treat someone and how they turned out to treat others. Take heed, people. Learn from your mistakes. One woman not giving up her seat on the bus changed the world. One man standing up for what is right changed the world. One man dying on a cross for everyone changed the world. Whose life are you going to change? In what way is that life going to be changed? Love each other. Let things be. Hate in silence. Open up your mind and your heart and ask questions. Find out why you really hate that thing. Or if it's even really hate or just ignorance of not understanding. Open your eyes and your hearts, people. Let love in, or there ain't going to be nobody to love. Populations go down from stupid things happening, stupid decisions people make. Remember that, because this is your warning. Life is not fully just, I hate this, I love that, and that's it. My decision rules. Actions have consequences behind them. And they can be just as simple and as sudden as being kicked out of art school, being rejected, or on good terms, just saying thank you, just allowing a stranger into your house and feeding someone because they look down. You never know. That person could be a millionaire, or they could fall into millions later. You just don't know where life's going to bring you. Are you still willing to keep taking that chance? This world's a horrible place right now, but I believe it can be made better if people would just open their eyes and stop judging and take the time to bring everybody together. As one very smart man had to find out in a very hard time, like he said, can't we just all get along? I think we can. Bye.